You might wake up one day and find that you've run out of things to play, to watch, to read. And you're noticing these days that everything that is popular 20 years ago, 30 years ago, is now being remade because they've run out of ideas. Tomb Raider is actually one of those things. Now, if you didn't know, Tomb Raider actually sold, it was like 75 million copies altogether. But the originals sold like 6, 7, 8 million each time, the first three. So they've remastered these ones and come out with, of course, a pack of them. They've done this for Mega Man recently. They've done this for Metal Gear Solid recently, other games that I like. But in this one, they came out with the remaster, and they needed a disclaimer. Not for any real reason, but because looking back in 1997, they think that it was racist and mean. So let's go ahead and look at what the disclaimer is. It says, the games in this collection contained offensive depictions of people and cultures rooted in racial and ethnic prejudices. Depictions of people and cultures rooted in racial and ethnic prejudices. These stereotypes are deeply harmful, inexcusable, and do not align with our core values at Crystal Dynamics. Rather than removing this content, we've chosen to present it here in its original form, unaltered, in the hopes that we may acknowledge its harmful impact and learn from it. Are they the ones who originally came up with the game? Is this the same people? Here's the larger font version of it. So what they're saying here at Crystal Dynamics is we were racist. In 1996, 97, and so forth, we were a racist company. Our game contains offensive depictions of people and cultures rooted in racial and ethnic prejudices. So we sat there as a team at Crystal Dynamics, and we said, let's put these characters in the game. And when we did that, we were racist. And we didn't realize we were racist, but now 30 years later, when we're putting it out, we realize we were racist at the time. That's a really weird thing to say. And our game was racist, and we made a racist game, but we're going to re-release it, even though it's racist, and not take anything out. It's so racist, we're telling you that we are pieces of shit. It's so racist, we're telling you that it's racist and that we were racist, but we're leaving it in. Isn't that a little bit contradictory? I mean, I get that it's art and it is to be consumed as art, but you're calling yourself a bad person. We used to be bad people here at, Crystal Dynamics. We used to think that we were just having fun in games. We used to just think that putting large polygonal breasts on a character was the most harm we were doing, but actually we were disgusting, vile racists. And now that we're not anymore, please buy this collection for $39.95. So they didn't say exactly what it is that's racist in the game, but people have some ideas. Bounding Into Comics was the one that originally pointed this out, and we're going to show you a video, but people have some ideas. This is one of the characters you come across in in the game. It's called a tribesman. And I wanted to bring up another picture that somebody else found. Here it is in the game. This is the tribesman in the game. He looks pretty large, pretty daunting, perhaps 6'7", well-nourished. He's eating a lot of wild boar. But actually, that's not what he's eating. So, and that's in here. They're encountered two types. They shoot poison darts from blowguns. They're supposed to be from Polynesia. Not sure if that's French Polynesia or what's the difference. But these guys that are tribesmen, they actually have a history of cannibalism. So that's why they're so buff and crazy, maybe. When Charles Darwin's expedition, and this is within the game, I don't think it's supposed to be the real Charles Darwin, or maybe it is, arrived in Kourou searching for samples, the tribesmen there recognized the artifacts the sailors were carrying, the very same ones that their ancestors had left behind in Antarctica for some reason. One of the sailors was killed, eaten, and his artifact taken. And then we go down to the historical time of 1998. The Australian military crash-landed in Kourou. The tribesmen reacted as they did to Darwin's sailors. At least one of the soldiers, a wounded commander, was taken prisoner and prepared for his feast. So they're saying it's very racist that they depicted some Polynesian tribesmen as cannibals who have killed multiple exploration crews, even as recently as 1998. And I think if that happened in real life, they probably would come in and wipe these people out. That's just my feeling. But if you were hoping to see what it looked, you could see it there, what it looked like in action. This is a cutscene. I don't think we'll be copyright struck for this. A cutscene from Tomb Raider 3. This is, I believe, 1998 is when it came out. Okay, prepare yourselves. Amazing graphics. She's got the dual pistols. They're complaining about being racist. What about the sheer idea that running around in the jungle in tombs wearing a tube top is not practical? The bugs. Think of the bugs.
Is well for you, me fasting this day. You make plenty good flesh pot.
Is that not a Jamaican accent as opposed to an African accent or some sort of primitive island accent? Is that not just a Jamaican guy's accent? And why is he... and we're going to end up being on the other side before the end of this video. Why is he just performing rituals alone in a corner? Good question.
Forget. I might be quite hungry myself. Famished, actually. Why did your ancestors flee from Antarctica so suddenly?
Kuma, bad place, plenty flesh, but for the price of evil, mutilation. The sixth leader, Mauki, were born without a face. Terrible storms. Men afraid, run! Set curse of Maoki on the land. No one good enough.
But you still worship it?
White fella later come here with magic Kuma stone. In a day, we celebrate the death of him. The Feast of Smile.
So that's the guy that we were reading about. He crash landed. He had a special stone. They said, and this is his words, white fella. So assumingly they said kill Whitey, put him on the old rotisserie and ate him. And they celebrate that every year. Interesting holiday.
One of Darwin's sailors, poor fool. Where's the stone now?
He lucky fella that kill you. A plenty merry like you.
I'll be sure to point that out to him.
Turn it up, Jordan.